let me say this, and this is not going to be an exact hit on the target we're talking about, but I think it is a parallel. I've seen this a few different times pop up on my timeline. I know we got comments, but one thing that they talk about is like people that are really into astrology. It says that the studies they've done on that is that the people that tend to be in astrology tend to have lower IQs and to be more prone to narcissism. I think this somewhat can apply there as well.
Parallels.
And the reason why I say that, as far as the narcissism part, when you think the world kind of revolves around you, the universe revolves around you, you have this much power and the shape, all these different things. It's almost like going back to the Garden of Eden and saying, you could be like God, kind of a thing. Here we're back at that place again, but it's a very narcissistic way of being. It's like, it reminds me of, Lucifer turning into Satan, right? So it's to me, it's a very similar point right there. And
is the law of next topic, the law of universal influence. Like the ripple effect, our energies affect everyone around us, whether we know the person or not. Since everyone is connected in some way, our thoughts, beliefs, actions will affect other people. The more positive you are, the more positive influence you have on others. What's up? Do y'all agree or disagree with this law of universal influence? Start with Fresh.
At the risk of agreeing with everybody, so we don't have any real discourse, I'm just gonna ask this: what experiment did they run to prove this theory? Like, where's the scientific process here?
Good question.
AKA, how you know?
Yeah, and that's the consistent theme with a lot of these laws that lacks peer review. It's notable. It's notable that it doesn't have any. It's definitely notable that it's absence for peer review. So no, I haven't seen any evidence or data behind it. As far as what about you, CQ, Derek, to answer a fresh question?
I don't. I'm consistently not going to ever like the law stuff. So if I put the law stuff aside, this is probably the closest one for me that I agree with. But I agree with it in the sense. Well, actually, I'll come back. I agree with an asterisk.
Man, I don't know, man. This stuff is like, I would say like there's things that sound great about it, and it's like, wow, it would be amazing. But I'm with Freshly, like, yeah, like how do you know, man? Because like so I would say I disagree, but there are parts of it that just, I think emotionally speaking, there are parts of it that sound nice, and you would want something like that to be true. It kind of pulls at the inner strings of your heart.
Emotionally is the perfect, yes, fantastic, CQ. This feels right. It makes me feel better.
Right.
It makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel like I don't have to work hard for everything that I get. I just sit on the couch, but I'm tired because I got all these kids. My man left me, or my wife left me. The white man don't want me to succeed. Let me just sit on the couch, think positive thoughts. Yeah, that'll get him on my side.
Now, I will say, when you break the different components of these laws down, there is proof to validate some of these things. There is some proof that seems to suggest if you say affirmations and things of that nature does help. If you write down your goals and envision what you want to accomplish, those things individually do help people.
Yeah, but those are talking about how they impact the user, not the universe around the user.
Yes.
If you think positive thoughts, you will feel better and get up and go do what it is that you need to do to accomplish the goals that you've set for yourself.
For sure.
It doesn't just speak to the universe and the universe will like, you know what? That's a positive thought. Let me go and help them out.
Yeah, for a lot of these laws and people that write books and make money off of this stuff, once quantum mechanics came out and quantum physics came out, they just went crazy with it. And they started using everything they didn't understand about quantum mechanics to justify these quote unquote laws that we can't observe and or test. You know, so like one thing you'll see is the use of the word energy. Energy to them is whatever they want it to be in the moment. It doesn't have any physical properties, but it's somehow still affecting physical things, and that's not explained. You know, and so people that are ignorant about reason and science and don't even have the curiosity to look it up, they just found something that's gonna, you know, scratch their itching ears.
Yeah, they're weaponizing the common man's ignorance against them. It's similar to a quote unquote magician in the Dark Ages. It's just science. I know it's science. I know it's a chemical process, but it's to my advantage that you don't know it. So now you think I have some sort of ability or power that you don't have because you don't understand it. It's for charlatans. It's designed to. That's why I said the first when you say the law, that stuff is designed to take advantage of ignorant people or lazy people who are not, like you said, Vulcan, going to go do the research themselves. And those people, I'm gonna say this might be a little controversial. I blame the quote unquote magician less than I blame the common man.
His audience.
I think his audience, because I think that stuff. I think those people are already looking for something, for an easy way out.
Yeah, well, let me say this. And this is not going to be an exact, hit on the target we're talking about, but I think it is a parallel. I've seen this a few different times pop up on my timeline. I know we got comments, but one thing that they talk about is like people that are really into astrology. It says that the studies they've done on that is that the people that tend to be in astrology tend to have lower IQs and to be more prone to narcissism. I think this somewhat can apply there as well.
Parallels.
And the reason why I say that, as far as the narcissism part, when you think the world kind of revolves around you, the universe revolves around you, you have this much power and the shape, all these different things. It's almost like going back to the Garden of Eden and saying, you could be like God, kind of a thing. Here we're back at that place again, but it's a very narcissistic way of being. It's like, it reminds me of, Lucifer turning into Satan, right? So it's to me, it's a very similar point right there. And then on the first part, as far as I forgot the first part I was going to bring up, but yeah, so I'll end it right there. Oh yeah, I said narcissism, and I said low IQ. Now I'm gonna tread lightly on the low IQ part, but
tread lightly.
Yeah, but people that really didn't grasp the concepts of critical thinking after the 12 years of schooling and maybe with some college, they're a lot more susceptible to false teachings and bad philosophies because they lack the tools to decipher what the truth is.
Yeah, it's also got a definition. Unfalsifiable.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is unfalsifiable.
Confidently asserting the theory or hypothesis is true or false, even though the theory or the hypothesis cannot possibly be contradicted by an observation of the outcome of any physical experiment, usually without strong evidence or good reason. It's definitely, and that's why it's a good thing that for those, it's very lucrative. You can get into this business because you can't prove them wrong.
Yes, and that's my, well, sorry, could you read the comment from me? So I want to keep.
Oh yes, yes sir. Where we at now? Melanie CT said it's the broken window syndrome. Vice versa also applies. Shout out to you, Melanie.
So I don't know if you want to put the vice versa up there. Are you able to do that or no?
I can.
I think you mean the broken window syndrome.
Yeah, I keep talking while I pull that up.
What did you say, Freshly?
So I think you mean, do you want to put up the broken window syndrome?
What did I say? I think I know what I said.
Do you want to put the vice versa up there?
I figured I said that. I was like, I know I didn't say that, but I probably didn't say that. But yeah, so yeah, the broken window. You want to put the vice versa also applies definition up there? So my issue with a lot of this stuff is that when
appreciate that, Fresh.
These people are beguiling ladies primarily, just like astrology, just like crystal cells. This law of attraction stuff is targeted towards women, towards their failed dreams and hopes, and it gives them a false sense of security and something that you cannot falsify, as stated earlier. And my biggest issue with this stuff, a lot of times, with a lot of these topics that we talk about with things that are unfalsifiable, is when this lady finds a man to enter her life, how can a man lead somebody when they have these type of beliefs?
If he's good enough, he can disprove them, and we can move on from it.
Well, you can't that's what the whole point about the non-falsifiable thing comes into play. You can't falsify it. If somebody believes that, I manifested whatever came to me, I manifested this, I did that, and I manifested it. There's no way to prove that they would have ended up there anyway. There's no way to prove it. There's no way to prove those things to them. So you can't tell them. You can't show them. It's like somebody saying, "God told me." Mm-hmm. God told me. God told me we're supposed to be together.
It's easy enough to disprove that stuff. In the words of the venerable Jay-Z, I heard Muck say they made Hove say, "Okay, so make another Hove."
Okay,
do it again.
So if somebody says God said we're supposed to be together, Freshly, how you gonna disprove that?
I'm saying, show me where he said that.
He said it to me when I was in my dreams.
He didn't say it to me. I didn't have the same dream.
That's not a disproof.
It's not a disproof, but when you ask for proof that can't be given, that's your foothold into the falsifiability of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you know how to do it, definitely, I would love to see that in real time. Because
again, obviously, you would have to.
Oh, Derek, didn't you deal with that situation where?
Don't you bring
with our former pastor?
Oh,
our former pastor told Derek. Derek was breaking down, exegeting the text in the Bible, and had clear, didactic teachings on a particular topic that we've discussed in the past. And then, lo and behold, our pastor at the time, said, "I got a vision from God."
He said, "Lo and behold." That's wild. You don't know. Lo and behold, conveniently.
What? There, were you able to convince him out of that vision from God?
Yeah.
Yes, it works. He almost spit his juice out. Yes.
He wouldn't admit it, but he admitted it. He admitted it behind closed doors.
Oh, that's even worse. Tell the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Vulcan's amazing, man. We're having so much fun.
I'm here to stand on my soapbox and proclaim that to the world.
On this show.
This is the hottest show on the planet right now.
What's the debate?
Ain't no debate.